Hi, I'm Georgia Jean and welcome to our next video in our intention portal. And this one is about generating intention about creativity, and it's a subject that's very close to my heart. I actually went to art school when I finished high school. I actually went to university for 1 year and I kind of dropped out. Not because of the academic stuff, but because I, at that time in my life, needed to have something that would help me connect to myself more. I had been through quite a lot of challenges growing up, and art school was enormously healing for me, hugely healing for me. And I had there my very first experiences of being in the zone. Prior to that, I'd been a pretty stressed kid, pretty really worried all the time and that kind of stuff. And when I went into the paint, when I was a painter, it was one of the things I did. And when I would paint, I would go into this zone, the place of the no mind, and it was extremely meditative, none of the stress, none of the worry, and I really felt that huge surge of creative energy and alignment within me happening. And I think that was a hugely healing process for me. And so I'm a huge proponent of creativity, and I've explored it in different ways. In my life, I was a stand-up comedian for 11 years. And I still love to act and do things like that. And I really believe people, if they have that desire, should create a space in their life to explore their creative self. And I often have clients come to me saying, how can I get in touch with that? Because what happens often when we're growing up, or maybe there's even past life stuff here, we build up belief structures around creativity that really restrict us from feeling open and flowing with it. And we somehow weight other areas of our lives as more important than this creativity. Or when we're growing up, we may have a parent that's not supportive of our creativity or something like that. So we develop this sort of crust of resistance and belief structures around the act. So you may not try to create anything at all. You may be completely out of touch with your creativity, or when you go into a creative situation, you might seize up, like writer's block or stage fright, which luckily I never had stage fright, but I certainly have occasionally, been through times when that creativity isn't flowing. And so I want to give you my number one tip for getting out of that conflict space when you're in resistance and conflict around your creativity, and just allowing yourself to get back into the zone and allow your true self, your creative force, to flow through you uninhibited. Because the resistance around creativity really is different aspects of your mind in conflict with one another. And the way to end the conflict is to use a mantra that I talk about all the time, which is, I love and accept the part of me that. And how you use this is, if you're sitting down and say you've got to do something, some writing, or you've got to do something creative, or you want to do something creative, you're not doing it, you want to say this to yourself: I love and accept the part of me that wants to be creative. I love and accept the part of me that is blocking me from being creative. And I could go into all the theory behind this and why it's such a powerful thing. But basically what it does is it dissolves that conflict between the two aspects and brings you back into a unified state of love and acceptance when you don't have the conflict anymore. And that's when you really become like the open channel that you really are. We're all sort of channels for that bigger aspect of ourselves, whether you want to call it your soul, your creative self, your potential. And when you can let the mind get out of the way and allow that energy to just flow through you, rather than having all that kind of like, should I, shouldn't I, conflict, I shouldn't, I do, la 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 la, then you can really start experiencing that wonderful part of you that's so beautiful and so creative and so amazing, because that's what you are. So this portal is really about creating, manifesting an intention about your creativity. What do you want to let go of around this area? What's been restricting you? What's been holding you back? Maybe you haven't even thought about this stuff. Maybe you've been so orientated in other areas of your life, you haven't even considered yourself a creative person. So what do you want to let go of that's blocking that? And what are you ready to start bringing into your life experience as part of your balanced, holistic life experience, which I really believe in some form, whatever form is right for you, should incorporate some of your beautiful creative energy. So have a generate on that. Let this start stimulating the unconscious beliefs, the conscious beliefs, the nervous system, the energy field around this, and write those intentions down in the comments page. Solidify the intentions, write them down in the comments page. What are you ready to let go of, and what are you ready to create next year? Yay!